היי נחום.
אני מארגן לי בחוץ איזה נקודת ישיבה, יש כזה אוויר טוב.
אני צריכה לברר, פתאום אני לא זוכרת איך עושים שיש, הנה view, אוקיי, סבבה. הכל טוב.
Hello.
Oh,
There's just the two of us.
the three of us.
Who is the third one? I can't read.
Nahum.
Ali.
Nahum is there. And
Nachum. Hi, Ayla.
Nahum.
Not Nahum. Well, you know, there is big danger that I mispronounce anyway. So how are you?
Fine, but I just noticed that I
Probably more are gonna
didn't
come.
put my hearing aid, so I'm
Okay,
going to...
go ahead. Don't worry. Yes, Nahum?
Yeah, I'm fine. Living in Samsara.
Yeah, no, so then it's not too bad, is it?
I'm fine. Fine.
Perfect. Somebody gave me this loudspeaker, but you know, one like really small like this.
Yeah.
Bluetooth, but
Bluetooth, small Bluetooth.
somehow it doesn't connect. I probably have to try it out when I'm not here. Bluetooth. Don't record it, yeah.
It's recorded, but afterwards they cut the beginning. I promised they gave me the instructions exactly how to do it. We must start at 5 minutes to 8. So I did it.
Do you hear Anita?
Yeah, I can hear you. But I can hear you on the computer and not on the... now. Can you say something?
Who?
Well, whoever, doesn't matter who.
Good morning, good evening, dear Losang.
No,
how are you?
It's still only the computer loudspeaker. Anyway, I think I have to figure it out at one point.
Why do you need to use it?
That the sound comes out of this little tiny thingy here.
It makes the sound better?
Just continue to talk.
What should I say? Good evening to everybody. Today I'm
You're the host, I know.
I'm the your new host instead of Tom, who couldn't be here tonight. So I'm a bit, just a bit nervous, but everything till now is okay.
Oh, why? Why are you nervous?
Because I had, on top of just recording, I had to do it on the new YouTube. But it's okay now, it's working, everything is working. And I have to make you a co-host, you see, I forgot.
Yeah, you have to make me host.
Co-host, now I forgot.
Co-host,
Wait, more.
Now it works. Now I figured it out.
More.
Great.
Co-host, okay, I almost forgot, you see?
Look, the wonders of technology. This is a loudspeaker, and I don't have to connect it with this one, because this one is always with this one thing here, and then I have all these strings here. So, but now it works, so it's great. I'm happy.
I hear you very well.
I am. Yeah, it's not allowed. It's kind of a loudspeaker for me because I don't hear well. You see, so when it's only the computer audio, sometimes I can't hear what you're saying. Nahum, I can hear you. You have a good, strong voice, so this is good. Well, sometimes people don't have such strong voices.
I've got these headphones over me, so...
this I don't like, so... Anyway, so now it works, so that's great. So I can hear you loud and clear. Perfect. Okay, so, hello.
So I suppose I have to say something, Losang.
Also, Hila Ayalon is with us, and Neta, and Nurit.
We see all of them.
Sometimes I wonder who is behind this Nurit Paul's iPad, because she never says anything. One never sees her.
Maybe she's a Buddha.
And you think the Buddhas, you can't see them and you can't hear them? What do you say?
I don't know. They come in all kind of forms. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. This is why we have to be careful, because everybody.
Exactly.
Actually, I thought I wanted to discuss with you a little bit, because also I will have to discuss it with Leora and with Shachar, because I thought maybe we could make a summer break also, you know, until I come. I mean, not right now. So like that we continue maybe until end of June. So that means today plus 3 more Wednesdays.
The chapter is about to be finished.
Exactly. And I'm trying to finish the chapter until then. As you know, sometimes we don't even do one verse, but I'll try to finish it. And then we can start with the new chapter, either, you know, in person or online or whatever. What do you think about this idea? Shall I present it to the boss, to the big bosses of the Dharma Friends?
Ambivalence.
Ambivalent, okay. Breaks are always good, you know. And you can, during the break also, you can sometimes go a little bit over the verses of the 6th chapter. Yeah, so which is not a bad thing. I'm not a Buddha, Nurit is saying. Oh, this is the sign of a Buddha saying I'm not a Buddha. The Buddhas never say I am a Buddha. When you know, the Dalai Lama gets asked this question quite often, asking kind of people asking him, are you a Buddha? He says, no, I'm just a simple monk. He never says I'm a Buddha. But, you know, means a lot to say I am just a simple monk. Anyway, I will present the idea to the Shachar and to Leora Kenneth, which I think she's still somehow a little bit my boss. And then we'll see what they say. Because also, you see, I'm kind of finishing here, and I have a lot to do with handing over, and like here, the House of Religion, other places where I'm doing things. And also I have to do, I will lead a Tara retreat beginning of August. So in Austria, so then I won't be able to do the sessions anyway. So yeah.
Do you have a ticket to Israel already or not possible?
Yeah, they still don't let me enter, so I don't. But I'm looking, you know, I'm looking quite often the possibilities of flights. There are flights, but I think they still don't let non-Israelis enter.
Even if you got the vaccine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't let tourists enter yet. So, but it might change.
She got the virus, not only the vaccine, she got the virus.
Yeah, and I'm a Buddhist nun, so no, this is just joking. So no, they also don't let tourists in, so I have to wait for that. And I think there's talk that they would do this in July, so I'll see. And then I was, you know, before middle of August, I cannot come anyway because of that Tara retreat in Graz, and so I'll see. So it will be towards the end of August, which is soon. You know, time passes very soon. And the you know, flight is booked in 3 clicks and tack, and you have a flight. So this is not a problem. At least at the moment, there is quite a few flights. But the thing is, when it opens, there might not be. But anyway, we'll see. Okay? Good. Hello, Elisheva. Hello.
Hi, sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
I'm here now.
We have been chit-chatting anyway. So how about we start with meditation, reflection, a little bit. Tonglen, did you, you know, this very simple way of doing Tonglen like last time? Was it helpful? Did you find it useful or not so much? Just, you know, to create space first and then work with texture. Or do you just want to just sit also quietly? It's fine with me. You can choose. We just take the energy of everybody kind of participating, and then everybody does their own meditation for maybe 15 minutes or something. What do you want to do?
Tonglen.
Tonglen. Okay. So it's always the first one who gets what they say. So if you want something else, you still have one chance. Otherwise, we'll do the Tonglen thing. Okay. Which I think also is very good because it's easier to stay with the breath if you give it some texture. Okay. So just, make yourselves comfortable. Try to sit with a straight back, but in a relaxed way. Like relaxed but awake. Try to express that with the body, because the body has a lot to do with the mind state. Not trying to prove anything. Don't become too kind of tight, strict, whatever. And to really connect then with the body and see how the body is sitting. If you need to adjust, you adjust. We try to create some space first. We're always so tight and so tense. I mean, maybe not everybody, but many people. Try to let go of all expectations, not wanting anything specific to happen. The meditation doesn't have to be pleasant. It can be pleasant, that's fine. But, it's all about understanding. It's all about seeing. It's all about observing, being mindful, being aware. That's probably the most difficult thing, is to let go of expectations. What should happen or how you should feel during the meditation. Try to be curious. Try to kind of make a commitment to yourself to be present, to show up, as they would say. Not to run away from anything, but also not to manipulate. Because it's all about ourselves. We want to be of benefit to all sentient beings, so we need to know what's going on with us. So try to let go of past and the future, compulsive thinking, planning. And we try to touch spaciousness. Sometimes I think space or spaciousness is like nothing. But we can be aware of space. So try to be aware of the spaciousness around you, even if there's objects in it. But because there is space, we can put objects in it. And even imagine your body becoming spacious, becoming quite big, but especially being kind of empty, like an empty vase. But you keep your form, so that there is a difference between your inner space or inner spaciousness and this outer spaciousness. Try to really be aware of it, not just in the head. So between the outer spaciousness and the inner spaciousness, there's a very subtle boundary. If you find it difficult, you can think that as you breathe out, the same way as you do body scan, as you breathe out, you dissolve the solidity of your body with each out breath. First, inside of your head, shoulders, chest, and so on. If you get lost in thought, just think of these thoughts like clouds in this spaciousness, like clouds in the empty sky. The sky is always the same. Clouds change. No need to manipulate them, no need to push them away. Just don't give them too much attention. We let them be. So try to open up to basic spaciousness and clarity. When we give space, the mind calms down and it becomes clear. So then, as you all know, if we do Tonglen, is to increase our courage to bear pain, suffering, or whatever else arises that is unwanted, with patience and openness. So at the beginning, just work with texture. And as you breathe in feelings of heat, darkness, and heaviness, or whatever else you wouldn't want to have. And just see them dissolve in that spaciousness. As you breathe out feelings of fresh, cool, bright, light, healing, or whatever else you look upon as wanted, something agreeable. And as you breathe in completely, taking in the negative energy to all the pores of your body. So it's not just your, the air going in through the nose, going into the lungs or whatever. Think you're kind of sucking it in like a vacuum cleaner. From above, below, front, back, left and right. And as you breathe out, radiate the positive energy completely to all the pores of your body. So then we begin with ourselves, and again, you think about a painful situation that is real for you. And you watch the sensations that arise when you just think about the situation. Again, don't run away from it. And we welcome these feelings as you breathe in. And by breathing it in, you also think, but I'm not the only one who is experiencing these kind of things. So as you breathe in these feelings of pain, and simultaneously for all those who feel the same kind of suffering, think it comes into all your pores, the sticky, heavy, dark, hot, but it dissolves in that spaciousness. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out these feelings of fresh, light, cool, healing, compassion, wisdom, whatever. But as I said, try to work with texture, not just ideas. And you give it to yourself, all the things you would want, all the things you need in that painful situation. understanding, courage, confidence, trust. And you're doing this for yourself and all other beings who are in the same situation. But mainly focus on yourself, just knowing that I'm not alone who experiences this. So when you breathe out, I think you're breathing out relief, support for yourself and for all other sentient beings that are experiencing the same thing as you do at the moment. And then try to make it bigger, the taking in and sending out. You're doing Tonglen for a friend, so now you can think about a friend. But then again, so that it doesn't become attachment, think also this friend is not the only one experiencing that situation. So you think that when you're breathing in and taking away all that pain, all the suffering, you're doing it for your friend, but for all the others who are also experiencing the same. So it becomes wider, it becomes bigger. As you're breathing out, again, you give cool, fresh, light, relief, support, while the heavy stuff has dissolved into the spaciousness. Again, you can use other images, like if you think that spaciousness is like a filter, if you think it's like the sun burning away all the clouds, if you think it's like the night that cools down the heat of the suffering or the suffering of the heat, whatever that spaciousness means for you, because it's not just empty space, it has a lot of qualities. Or you can think about somebody that you don't know personally, somebody maybe you know from the newspapers or from TV. And again, also think about the problems of that person. And think that one. Nobody is unique who is suffering or has painful feelings. We always find peers who are going through the same thing. And now, since we're in the patience chapter and we've been talking a lot about this, you can even do this for people you consider harmful to others. People who hurt you or hurt others. People that we call our enemies. You can do Tonglen for them, thinking of them as having the same confusion and stuckness as you yourself or your friend. Just try, again, don't push. And don't take your biggest enemy. Just somebody who kind of, you wouldn't want to spend time with that person. You can breathe in their pain and send them relief. By really understanding, even less than I or me, they know what brings suffering and what brings happiness. So since I'm confused as well, I take the confusion as texture. Now it can be creative. How does confusion feel? Pain, we said dark, sticky, hot. Healing is cool, fresh, light. What texture would you give to confusion? Or being stuck in a painful situation? So if you find something, then you breathe that in. As you breathe out the antidote. Wisdom, compassion, clarity, confidence. So as we do this, quite often we have a kind of glimpse that things are not as solid as we think. And definitely our compassion naturally expands to others. And we will find ourselves more and more able to be there for others. Even in what used to seem like impossible situations. Okay. Or do you want to continue? We can continue for another hour if you want.
No, me, I just look like this. My picture is stuck.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I thought like, oh, Leora is deep, deep, deep in meditation. Nice. Okay. So anybody remembers the homework from last time? You remember the verse we had? Let me show it to you, then maybe then you remember the homework. Yeah. Oh, wait, I have to do like this. So we were around here, yeah? So that, very often we think that the people we dislike there are the obstacle for our practice, not really understanding that patience is one of the perfections. If we want to attain enlightenment, we need to practice patience. So Shantideva is telling us, like, practicing generosity, you have lots of occasions to do that. So that's not so difficult. But scarce are those who inflict harm. And here he really talks inflict harm, because then we also talked about, yeah, but what if they harm others or my children and all this? But Here he talks about who inflict harm on you. Yeah, I mean, there's not that many people who are directly harming us, I think. I mean, that's what he says. For if I have not injured others, few beings will cause me harm. This is called, talks about karma. So we kind of, the homework was that, you know, because things that are rare in general are seen as valuable, isn't it? When it's rare. And well, rare and you like it. Also, there are things that are rare, but we dislike it. But when we think, you know, something is rare, but we do like it, then we think they're valuable. And then there's a happy feeling coming up. So when we find difficult things that we didn't want, or, you know, they're too much or this and that, then we have an unhappy feeling. So by changing our view and really understanding the purpose why we want to change our view, you know, so again, it's like, it's always this discussion that we also had last time. Yeah, but what about those who harm those and that? It's not about the purpose of this one, or especially this chapter, or the whole Dharma practice, is not to change the world, to change other people's behavior. It is to really understand there is suffering. Those are the causes of suffering. There is a cessation of suffering, and how. And practicing patience is a part of how, is a part of the path. Yeah, and not just in the Mahayana tradition, also in the Pali tradition is also they also practice the 6 perfections. Yeah. So if you want to just have an easy, happy life, then of course, you know, people who harm others, people who are harming you, they're not a help for having a happy, easy life. But if you want to attain full awakening, then they are very, very valuable. And we should see them with a happy mind, which is, as we understood last time, is very difficult. But nobody says it's easy. Nobody says it has to be easy. You know, conquering your own mind and really practicing these things, they're really difficult. This is why we call it training, the training of a bodhisattva. So you're not starting with your biggest person that really gets on your nerves, or that you wouldn't find it, you know, just thinking that you should see this person as valuable is making you wanting to vomit. This is not the right person, right? So did you try it out? Because the homework was to see how we feel when we meet somebody, because it's about human beings, isn't it? When we meet somebody that we see as valuable, the happy feeling, to connect with that, to really connect with that, to experience these sensations in the body. You know, not just to let them go past like this by just thinking about something else right after. So that these connections can be made between these, synapses and neurons, or whatever they're called in the brain. When we are mindful of a sensation and we hold it, then it can, you know, they can wire together, and then it becomes much quicker and much easier. This is what science is. I don't know if it's true. I'm just repeating things here, but it sounds good, doesn't it? That we can make a habit of seeing everybody that we meet as valuable. I'm not saying as good. And here again, you know, there's a big mistake, you know, when we see somebody as valuable, it doesn't mean that then we let them do whatever they want to do. Yeah, like your children, when you see your children, this is what I think what I was talking about. When we look at our children, we like to see them, even if they're nuisance, even if they're pain in the neck, even if they're not doing what we want them to do, or even if they're trying to find happiness where we think, oh my gosh, this is no happiness to be found. Still, your children are valuable for yourself, isn't it? Yes or no? Yeah. You can open your microphones, guys. It's discussion group here. It's not teaching. I have to say that almost every time, isn't it? So even if your child is doing something that makes you sad or angry or frightened or whatever, you still have this feeling of your child as being valuable. Or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh? Yes, Leora?
Yes. No, just yes.
Yes, exactly. So for children, it makes a lot of sense. You know, if you would meet a father or a mother who would say, oh, my child is a murderer, is a criminal, therefore I hate my child, you wouldn't understand this person. That they know that, you know, we know that the actions that this child is doing is negative, but still there is this love for the child, maybe even more when, you know, when they are doing all these really unhelpful things. Because there's even more compassion wanting them to stop, because you understand why they're not happy and that it doesn't lead to anything. You wouldn't throw them out of your heart, would you? Yeah. So this is what we're trying to do, you know, not idiot compassion. That, oh yeah, whatever they do, they're wonderful people, they're very valuable. But having a concern for them to be happy, like a mother or a father, that's the goal. And that's a very, very, very high goal. Yeah. And in order to attain that goal, first we have to let go of these people, they don't deserve to be happy, they should suffer. This we have to let go. If you want to find joy in these methods and in this advice that Shantideva is giving us, and if we want to see them as helpful, we have to let go of that idea. Because what Shantideva is doing in the 6th chapter and then also in the 7th chapter is he's preparing us for being able to exchange my happiness with the happiness of somebody else. But then, you know, not just in meditation doing Tonglen, but also doing in a very natural way, acting like this without feeling like the victim, without becoming arrogant and proud about it, to do it actually when it is beneficial of doing that. Yeah. So this is just, you know, the Tonglen we're doing here and all this is just a preparation. So the first thing we have to let go of is these deserve to be happy, but those don't. You see, if people would be happier, not trying to find happiness in things that don't make you happy, we would have a much better world. So we have a lot of interest in wanting to make other people happy. Okay, your turn. What do you think? Because
many times.
Because I tell you, it will get worse, yeah, with the verses now. It's get more and more extreme. Many times, yes, Nahum?
Angela, many times, like whether in the family I have enough time for everybody, but at work, in my clinic, so quite naturally now, I have compassion to everybody, even to the enemies, to the hard ones. Okay, I have compassion for them naturally, but yeah. I don't have enough time.
But you don't need to do anything. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I wish. As a wish, I wish, and I say it helps me. Even if I can't do anything, I can't convince them that I'm telling you, I wish you were well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You don't have to take the responsibility. All you need
stay with a good energy, but I can't solve anything. I can't solve it all, of course.
Exactly, because you don't have enough time, as you say. Not even the Dalai Lama can relieve everybody from their pain.
Of course.
Not even the Buddha can. So who the heck we think we are? You know, we're just in training. So, and it's not about this. It's not about, oh, I don't have enough time to be kind. No, it doesn't, you know, when the attitude of kindness is there, the action follows naturally. If we're trying to do an action of kindness and we feel stressed because we don't have time and the heart is closed because poor me, I don't have time, it won't work. So don't mistake kindness with thinking that it needs necessarily to be an action. Kindness is a mental attitude. I want you to be happy. Compassion is, I want you to be free from suffering. But not me having to, you know, at the moment, we're making the promise.
I'm not in his shoes. I'm staying in mine, and I really hope you will be fine. And I can do whatever I can do. I'll do the best I can do. I can't do more than I can do.
Exactly. Otherwise, you put yourself under pressure that you have to solve everybody's problem. Now, I know you're a therapist, so you are under pressure and you want to help. This is why people come to see you. But it's not just about your professional life, it's about everyday life, whomever we meet. You know, that from time to time when you go through the streets, that you just look at somebody spontaneously and have the thought, may you be happy, may you be well. And then as a Bodhisattva, you would add, may I be able to give you happiness and the causes of happiness. May I be able to, guide you out of suffering and the causes of suffering. And what usually follows then, because we do this when we do practices with Shakyamuni Buddha or Tara, we ask for inspiration that we are able to do this, knowing exactly that we're not there yet. Yeah, but we need to see this as something positive because otherwise it won't work, and not out of duty or because you want to be famous or, people shall then give you more money or they love you or whatever.
No, good motivation, of course.
For the benefit of others. And as we do this, we benefit ourselves. Because, having anger and hatred for somebody is like, there's no point. Yeah. It doesn't change it doesn't change the situation. And it just makes us feel uncomfortable. But it seems so natural. And it seems almost unnatural when Shantideva was telling us, hey, but look, you need these people. And so we go to the next verse. And as I said, it's getting worse and worse actually here. It's going more and more against the views of the world. So he says, therefore, just like a treasure appearing in my house without any effort on my behalf to obtain it, I should be happy to have an enemy, for he assists me in my conduct of awakening. Now, how does that sound? Imagine, you have bought a house and you think, I'm going to do some gardening. And, boom, and you start to shovel and all of a sudden you find this treasure. You find somebody has, a box with thousands of shekels in it. You have no idea to whom this belongs. You see it's quite old and this and that. So, you can keep it. It's for you. How would you feel?
Lucky, just like my back pain that brought me to Buddhism.
Yeah, I mean, we would feel happy. And, here, the people that we dislike, we don't even have to dig for them. They're all around us, isn't it? We can find them very easily. We don't have to take a shovel and look for the treasure. So this is why he says, like without any effort, we find these people. Therefore, just like a treasure appearing in my house without any effort on my behalf to obtain it, they just turned up. I should be happy to have an enemy, for he assists me in my conduct of awakening. Whenever somebody gets on your nerves, whenever you get angry, so then try to use that argument. Hey, but I want to become a Buddha. I want to get out of samsara. I want to overcome my own confusion. For that, I need to practice compassion and wisdom. And for that, I need to practice the 6 perfections. One of them is patience. So without this enemy, how can I practice patience? And we all know, sometimes I think we don't value patience enough. So maybe again, we have to, we don't see the benefit of patience because let's do maybe a short reflection, just so that you start to feel how it feels not to be patient and how it feels to be patient, so that we see the value of patience. Okay, shall we try? So again, you have to find the situation, and it's not the best way. The best way would be when you are in the situation. Yeah, so that's another exercise. Whenever you're patient, you're not reacting with anger or whatever, you feel that the tension in your heart is dissolving, you connect with that sensation that you have then. Whenever you blew it and you kind of, you didn't act in a patient way, then again, connect with the feeling that you have after the action. And then we start to understand, because don't forget, Buddhism is an experience vehicle. It's not an intellectual, just learning things by heart or devotion to the Buddha or making prayers and all this. This helps. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place, but Buddha is speaking to us by encouraging us, make the experience and see for yourself. But when we just learn and we have it up in the head, then we don't, and we're not mindful when these things happen, then we don't see the value of patience. So let's just, you can lie down or sit comfortably. You don't have to have a straight back, actually. But remember a situation where in your eyes, you didn't act patiently and you were unkind. Even justified, but justified, the other person made a mistake or they hurt somebody or whatever. You burst out in anger or you stop communicating with the person. So remember the situation and connect with the feeling. Don't be afraid of it. Just look at it. What was the outcome? What were the consequences of this? Or you can turn it around. When somebody was impatient with you, how did you feel? What were the consequences of it? Even short term, long term. Then remember a situation when you were patient, when you understood the person is confused, or Shantideva's arguments. Hey, it's difficult to find people who harm me, but I need that one. Very easy to find somebody that I can practice generosity with. It's not so easy to find people that I can practice patience with. When you were, try to remember really a situation where you were able to apply these arguments of Shantideva, or just maybe, the disadvantages of anger, or that, the wisdom that comes says, hey, but getting angry is not going to change the person's behavior. So try to remember a situation where you were really able to keep your heart open towards somebody who was a real pain in the neck. And connect with that feeling. Not to lose it. Not to close our heart. Not to be unkind. What's the consequences of that? Short term, long term. Or again, we turn it around. Somebody was patient with you, because we also make mistakes. They had all the worldly reasons for getting angry at you, getting impatient at you, but they didn't. They understood that you didn't do it on purpose. What are the feelings? What are the sensations when you remember the situation? Okay, so try to do that from time to time. Be mindful how you feel when you're not patient, and know that patience is a training. We need to train to be patient. Just wanting to be patient is not going to work. So this is why Shantideva is giving us all these wonderful arguments that we can use, because they all have to do with wisdom. And you don't have to apply all of them, but you can find one or two that are really helpful. Yeah, I think in one homework we had if I would be a bodhisattva, how would I act now? You know, as if we are just an actor bodhisattva. We're in a movie and we have the role of the bodhisattva. How would I act now? Or just a question sometimes, which is a bit dangerous because there is a danger that you put yourself down. You know, kind of, what kind of person do I want to be? Do I want to be this angry person? But then it's very important you're not judging yourself, really understanding if you have a habit of getting angry all the time, it will take a long time to change that habit. And to do it with compassion for yourself and not with pushing and, you know, scolding yourself. Again, I go angry, this is terrible. I'll never do it, and all this. Just start again. Say, okay, next time I'll try again. Then again you fail. Then next time I fail again. And I try again. You know, this is very beautiful, beautiful saying by, oh, I can't remember, this Irish guy, what's his name? You know, when he said, ever tried, I failed. Then I tried again, I failed again. Oh, I tried again, I failed again. Then I thought, okay, I'll try again, I failed again. And as I failed so many times, I learned to fail better. Yeah. We can really learn to fail in a very gracious way because we're not Buddhas. We will fail in many, many things that we're trying to do. It doesn't mean we have to start hating ourselves. Just don't give up and learn, okay, next time I fail, I'll try to fail better without, you know, the whole story and judging myself and this and that. Is that kind of clear? Can you see the value of patience now? I mean, it's such a present, you know, like it's such a present to ourselves to practice, to train in patience. If we cannot train in patience, then we will never be patient. Netta, what do you think? What are you thinking? Are you thinking something?
That there is much work.
Oh, yes, of course, there's much work. Nobody says it's easy.
And I think about situations more.
Huh?
About situations that are stuck. Like, as I said, going and working in the kitchen, which I'm impatient, extremely. And I'm trying, it's a hard nut.
Then if you are, you know, again, we can start to work with it, and in a way, when you say in the kitchen, then make things that are easy to make. Make sure that if you make something complicated, that you have time to do it. You know, try to work also with the conditions outside that we can. We can never control the conditions, but we can manipulate them a little bit. You know, don't make a kind of Friday dinner with 10 dishes or something like this. And if you are short on time, make something easy. And then just say, when you bring the things on the table, say, look, I prefer not to be stressed and give you something simple to eat than to give you something complicated when I get stressed, because then I become unkind. You know, this is a very valuable argument. I prefer to eat with an unstressed person, and it's something very simple, than to eat with somebody who's totally stressed and is asking every 2 minutes, do you like it? Is it good? Do you like it? Is it good? You know? It's like also this whole thing about pleasure in eating, there's no lasting happiness to be found there. I don't know why we make such a big fuss about it. You know, if it's delicious, fine. If it's not delicious, okay, it's one meal. What's the big deal? If people say like, oh, this is really not good, then take it away and give them a sandwich. Or I don't know. It's like, you know, we make such a big fuss about eating, isn't it?
Looking for pleasure.
Mm-hmm. But there is not to be found. That's why we have new recipes and new recipes and new recipes. If we could find lasting happiness in eating, one recipe is enough. Wow. Can you imagine how much money this recipe would cost if it gives you lasting happiness? Or you would become a millionaire. Yeah. Is that clear, Netta? Somehow with the kitchen? Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, or hire a cook.
Mindful takeaway. Ask for takeaway mindfully.
Yes, I try all the solutions, but I think that, yes, I'm maybe happy to find out that most of the impatience is with situations and less with people somehow.
Yes. Okay, so you're lucky.
Somehow.
So you're lucky because you don't, you know, the karma of being impatient with situations is much less heavy than if we hurt somebody at the same time. Unless you kind of, you know, stick the knife into your chest when you're impatient, that wouldn't be good. But I guess you're not doing this. Okay, so but Pema Chodron, after this verse, she says, so next time we are provoked, we'll remember that we have found an unexpected treasure that will easily make us rich. So it can be, you know, when you provoke yourself, Netta, in the kitchen, to think, oh, good, I'm impatient, now I can practice. Yeah. So, but if it's a person, we would say, beloved troublemaker, you are the means by which a confused person like me will attain enlightenment. Even if it doesn't sound so convincing at first, you know, when we say this to the troublemaker, this way of thinking helps to cool down our aggression. So since we love challenge, here it is, free house. And no expiry date, and useful in strengthening our mind like machines in the gym. And this will lead us to enlightenment. See, so if we go to the gym and we pay a lot of money, we do this in order to strengthen our muscles, isn't it? Or if you do sports or things like that, you're not just doing it for the fun of it, especially if you're not good at it. If you are not good at it and you want to have stronger muscles, you can bear the hardships, absolutely no problem, because you have a goal that is much further than just having pleasure in kind of pulling at these machines, okay? So it costs money. Now, in order to develop the muscles of our patience, we don't need to pay any money, you know, for the card in order to go into the gym. It's like the treasure. This person is to be found somewhere in our environment, but it will make us stronger. And I don't know if you found now when we did the reflection, if you notice something, the difference that, you know, the consequences, how we feel when we are patient. And I'm not saying when you're naturally not getting angry, this is not patience. You know, when you're already there, you don't need to practice it anymore. So don't be proud. Practicing patience is when you are about to say something or are about to explode, and then you don't say anything. That is practicing patience. When you are in the kitchen, Netta, you are in the kitchen and you start to feel tight, you notice it and you open up. Then you practice patience. Then you're pulling at the machine, like in the gym. Yeah. This is the moment. So did you notice a difference between when you are able to practice patience, when you're able not to get angry, or when you feel like about to say something, but then you say no, and when you are not able to be patient? Big difference, isn't it? I mean, yeah. Me again today, I blew it. You know, this person that I'm still having trouble with, much less, but still having trouble with, you know, again, it's always the same thing. She calls and I say, look, I have very little time because I had a lot to do today. I also had to go to the House of Religions to do a workshop and then come back, tea offering to the protectors. Today's the 29th, and then also you now. So, and, you know, that's another thing. If you call somebody, she says, I hope I'm not disturbing you. I say, I have very little time. So I think from your side, the best thing is to ask, shall I call later? Because then I will definitely say, no, it's okay. What is it? But she didn't ask me that. I said, I have no time. Then she starts telling me a story that has nothing to do with whatever. So then I just said in a very unkind way, look, you know, I don't know, this has nothing to do with me. And I told you I have very little time. And she said, yeah, I just wanted to tell you the story. I said, yeah, but I told you I don't have time. And boom, we hung up. And I felt terrible. You see, because I know exactly, now talking about my own experience, if she would have asked me, shall I call later? I would have said, no, it's okay. Because it was okay. You know, I mean, I can spare 5 minutes, even if I have very little time. If it would have been the Dalai Lama, do you think I would have told him, oh, sorry, I don't have time? You know, I would have listened.
Yeah, but I also have it, what you are saying, but this is like my spiritual ego. I'm expecting myself, well, come on, I'm only Nahum, I'm new, I'm doing my best, I'm not a Buddha.
Yeah, that's fine. But still, I know the difference between being able to listen to her for 5 minutes and being unkind with a closed heart. And I'm sorry, Nahum, I'm not going, oh, but you're not a Buddha. I'm going, you're such an idiot. Why can't you just spare 5 minutes to listen to her? And that helps me. You know, I'm not judging myself. I can talk to myself in such a harsh way because that helps me. Because what I did, I tried to remedy the whole thing by telling her that what she had said, it's actually a very good idea and blah, 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 and I'm going to do this. And then I felt a little bit better. I know I'm not a Buddha, but I want to become a Buddha, Nahum. So if I always go, yeah, but you're not a Buddha, blah, 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 then I don't change. That's me. That's me personally.
No, but Shantideva is saying what you are saying. This is my enemy. I have to fight really harsh my impatience.
Yeah, this is what I can do. Some people cannot. So because I also know that this I that I'm fighting does not exist the way that it manifests. And I know that when I follow this ego I or whatever you want to call it, I don't feel good. And I want to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to feel spacious. I can see when I go into the street and I feel well and I smile at people, I say hello or strike up a conversation with somebody. People feel better also when I'm relaxed than when I like this. Okay? So the time factor, especially for us in the West, is big. Yeah, like sometimes, you know, exaggerating that we don't have time, putting ourselves under pressure that we don't have time. I could have given her 5 minutes, definitely, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, but maybe there's another element which is something in us expect from others because we know how people behave. We expect them to behave in a kind way, and this wasn't kind also from her side. Maybe something was rebelling towards her being not sensitive.
Yeah. And by now I should know her. So why am I still expecting her to be different? Because it's not the first time that I say, look, sorry, I don't have time. And then she starts with the story that has nothing to do with what I thought that she would ask. You know, I thought she would just ask a question, but then she starts to tell me a whole story about something. So it's like, yeah, you're right. It's our expectations. Even though I know her, you know, my expectation towards her is much too high. And so is hers probably towards me also. So it's not just me. Good. Okay, let's go next verse. Or, you know, again, don't forget, it's discussion group. If you want to say something, open up your mic and say what you have to say.
I want to share just.
Yeah, Leora.
I find it's all in my heart. The whole thing is happening in the chest area, in the heart area. When somebody gets really annoys me, I don't shout at him, but I feel my heart is getting smaller and heavier.
Yeah.
And if I can do something to see it in another way, to see him in another way, so it's melting and opening. My heart is more light, and I can accept the situation.
Exactly.
I can accept the person. It's all in the chest.
Yeah, exactly. So this is why don't ever try to dissolve these negative emotions in the head, because they're not in the head, they're in the body. Sometimes chest, sometimes stomach, sometimes throat. So go there and just go in there and be mindful of them And taking your attention away from the object, and your object then becomes your sensations, that already cools down the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's very good what you're saying, Leora. This is why we have to look for them, is in the body, not in the head. In the head, I don't feel anger. I feel it here in the heart, as you say, or sometimes in the stomach, or sometimes in the throat, when the voice becomes very high and very kind of like this, then it's here. But now don't forget your humor about the whole thing.
And don't you sometimes feel it in your hands? Like my hands are getting closed.
Sweat. Yeah, sometimes people can feel it there, that the hands get tight, or you can see people kind of playing with their hands all the time. So maybe they're also, or sweaty, can also be cold or sweaty, or whatever. But yeah, most of it I feel like upper body, like stomach.
Yeah.
Sometimes even sexual organs, I can feel something. Nostalgia, very often I can feel there, kind of a pulling together. It's quite interesting. At the moment you pay interest to these sensations, then you are in a different mind state. You're not the emotion anymore. You are in the awareness who is aware of what is going on in the body. Yeah, this is why we cannot transform things in the head. We can use arguments so that the sensation in the body dissolves. This we can use. Sometimes just the breath is enough. Just to be aware, or just a thought like, oops, anger. No, I'm angry, but anger in the body. Careful what you're saying. Yeah.
If you see the river.
I think Elisheva wants to say
something. I have this habit. I'll give you the example. Today I stand in the bus station.
Okay.
And there was a big truck who he took some stuff from the truck and put in the shop. And there was a man, old man, like 67, 65, like some. And he started to scrolling. Why are you standing like here? Don't stand here. And he used very bad words. And I was with a friend, and she quickly do to me, stay quiet. I can't. And I came to him and I told him, stop. Please stop. It's not nice what you're. I thought he was also an Arabic, maybe the driver of the truck. So I quickly felt very, very, I need to protect him. This was my feeling. And I can't, usually I can't stop. And then he starts scrolling me. Yeah, and I felt better because he left this guy and I don't care what he's telling me. And then he got on the bus and he told the driver, why didn't you come near the bus? Why didn't and start, I will do no. And then I was laughing. But it's a habit. If I see someone who's doing something bad to another, I can't stand it and I'm reacting.
Yeah,
usually I will not fight and shout, but I will tell him to stop or something.
That's okay, Elisheva.
That's okay? Oh, thank you.
But not with anger against the person who is shouting at the driver or the Arab or whatever. Just to when you say I want to protect the other person from the anger of the other one, I think that's a good thing, because I also try to do that when I see people fighting or somebody.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and
you don't argue terror with terror. You become part of the problem.
No, I'm not saying with anger. This is what I'm saying. You don't do it with anger. But you are asking the person to stop. This is fine.
But she can't stop him, but she makes him even more angry.
I need to protect people or animals, or I can't stop it. And I can really fight someone with it.
Yeah, fighting is not so good, as Nachum said.
Not fight, but yes.
But using something to distract the person that is shouting, but just sometimes saying like, oh wow, just that sometimes. Because it takes them out of their anger. And it's not to change the person's behavior, but it's to protect the other one, but not aggressing the one who is the aggressor. But also is Israel, you know, I mean, when I hear sometimes people shouting at somebody else, like, you know, the boss shouting at workers who are working in the street, I think if you would do this in Switzerland, the worker would sue you. You know, you would have to go to court the way they talk to each other. So it's also a little bit, you know, a cultural thing that maybe it's not been taken so much, but we can't change people's behavior. But I think personally, Nachum, I think trying to protect somebody from being abused, I think is a good thing. So, but if you think it's not a good thing, it's fine. We can have totally different opinions. You know, but if you see a young man, you know, trying to beat up a woman, you would try to help as a man with a lot of
strength. If there's something physical, but if it's only one and there's no danger to anybody, trying to get involved will put me inside it, and in no time I will be inside the river, and I will lose my my mindful. Okay. Because I'm not strong enough in my bodhicitta.
So then that's for you. Then you don't. Then you know why you're not getting involved, because there's another thing, you know, just not getting involved. Just not getting involved is just not getting involved. But when you really in a very reasonable say, no, I'm not going to get involved because nothing good is coming from it, and that's actually a good thing.
If he's going to do something bad, I will stop. I will intervene. Yeah. But when it's only anger in words, okay.
Oh yeah, when you say this is only anger in words, but it can also be very hurtful, doesn't it? You know, because what it does, then also the other person gets angry, and then with that anger they go to the next situation, and then maybe they get angry at somebody, and all these kind of things. Samsara, as you say. Yeah, this is how we continue. So this is, you know, there's no recipe. Yes, get involved. No, don't get involved. You feel what you feel confident to do, but Elisheva, not with anger. You know, have your chest open. You know, what's the most skillful thing to do here? Because as Nachum says, it won't make that person who probably constantly acts in an angry way, it won't make him less angry. And we come to the next verse, because I just see here, I have a very nice commentary on that one, also by Pema Chodron. By the way, the commentaries I have, they're from a German book, so I translated them. And the German title of the book is called It's Never Too Late. It's never too late to practice. Es ist nie zu spät. I don't know what the title is in English, but it's a commentary on the whole of Shantideva's Bodhicharyavatara, but not the 9th chapter. Also, okay, so now he says, and because I'm able to practice patience with him, as the one who is shouting or whatever, he is worthy of being given the very first fruits of my patience, for in this way, he is the cause of it. So it's the cause of the fruits. What are the fruits of our patience? What are the consequences? What are the results of our patience?
Bodhicitta.
No. Much better. Enlightenment. Bodhicitta is the wish to be enlightened, and then the wish to lead all beings to that state as well. So you could also say, well, the Buddha also has bodhicitta because he doesn't have the wish to become enlightened anymore, because that's it, he's there, but he still has the wish to lead all sentient beings to that state. So that's the fruits. Thanks to this person, I will attain enlightenment. So Pema Chodron says, but what if you are faced with someone who is constantly angry and you don't hit back? Yeah, that we then feel like a friar, or we feel like weak, we feel like weak or whatever. So she says, on the one hand, when you don't hit back, you do not nourish his anger, because hitting him back, also shouting at him in the same way, this is why you have to be calm when you start to, even if you are shouting, you have to be calm inside. because people can feel that kind of energy. So you do not nourish his anger. If you shout back at him, he gets more angry. That's normal. If you hit back at him, he gets more angry. So then that's already an advantage. That would be supporting Nahum's argument. Don't get involved, because then you don't nourish the anger of the aggressor, for sure. Yeah. So that's already a benefit. On the other hand, you have the chance to practice patience and loving kindness. So both benefit. So it's like you benefit because you practice love and compassion for the person. The other one benefits because you do not you do not nourish his anger by not doing something nasty to him. So you, because you are less impulsive, and the aggressor because he gives you this opportunity. Yeah. So both of you play, like both of you have a role in that play. So both of you are working for your enlightenment. You're not working for the enlightenment of the other one. Yeah. But he is working for your enlightenment, and you are working for your enlightenment, because you will have the fruit of being liberated from samsara and being fully omniscient and knowing how to benefit all sentient beings. So the merit you get is due to whoever challenges you, because he is the cause of your patience. So you are grateful and wish him all the best. Yeah, we may wonder if our practice of patience can actually save someone from their own karmic consequences. If the fact that we are not heeding his aggression helps him to relax and calm down, then we can definitely say yes. We can help him break free from his aggression. But on the other hand, if he's always upset, our patient doesn't help him at all. But even then, we can say, may disconnection between us, unfriendly as it may be, cause us both to achieve enlightenment, so both will benefit from it. So, and then you can have a thought, if I am a Buddha, you will be the first that I will liberate from samsara. I will pay special attention on you because you have become the cause for my enlightenment. Okay, so even if a connection is negative, we can still have the wish. We have made a connection. So you see, even a negative connection is better than no connection. And so that we think, even if the connection is negative now, but may it lead, that we meet again, and I can, when I'm a Buddha, I can lead you to full awakening. Oof, not easy, eh?
It's a live Tonglen.
Yeah, exactly. It's Tonglen in the moment, as you say. So then 109. So he kind of, 108, it says, he's worthy of being given the very first fruit of my patience. So that means, when I'm enlightened, I'll come and get you. You'll be the first one, yeah? Because you're the cause of it. And also that we respect this person. We develop love and compassion for this person. So then the ego Shantideva again says, but why should my enemy be venerated? He has no intention for me to practice patience. Why should I respect him? Why should I venerate him? Because his intention is not that I attain enlightenment very, very quickly. Then the wise Shantideva says to his ego mind, but then why would you venerate the sacred Dharma? Because we respect the Dharma, isn't it? It too has no intention, but is a fit cause for practice. Okay? Or there's another argument which I find really nice, but it's from the Lamrim, or maybe from Gampopa. When this argument comes, but my enemy has absolutely no intention helping me, so why should I have respect for him like this? And then Shantidevas, or I can't remember who, but anyway, somebody says, but look, if you're a farmer and the rain falls at the right time on your field, the rain has absolutely no intention to fall on your field, but you're still happy. Yeah, even though the rain has no intention. And also, yesterday we had a big thunderstorm, and I was outside, and it was like monsoon rain in India. I had no umbrella. I was soaking wet, you know, much worse than if somebody passes with a car and goes whoosh in a puddle. I was like everything. I was able to go like this with my clothes. No anger against the rain. Yeah, so it's like, because there we see, well, the rain has no intention to make me wet. Everybody who was there got wet. Yeah, so like this, we play a lot with this intention. We feel hurt because we say, oh, he had the intention to hurt me, but you know, or he had the intention to make me wet by passing with his car. Who cares about the intention from your side? The main thing, you got wet. Or the main thing is you got, you know, the rain fell on the right time on your field. Can you see that? Can you see that argument is valid? So Pema Chodron says, to determine what is worth our gratitude, it is best to look at the end result, not at the immediate result. What do you get out of encountering an angry person or hearing words of Dharma? What do you get from all this? We get enlightenment from both. Yeah. So it's not the intention that counts. It's your attitude that counts. The intention of the other person, it doesn't give you good karma or negative karma or helpful karma or whatever. So the benefit is not depending on the motivation of the other, but on your attitude. That's where the benefit comes from. That's where the practicing patience come from. So if it is developing patience, then we can both be grateful. Instead of saying, my boss didn't intend to make me patient, so he doesn't deserve my praise or my veneration, we can say, it wasn't his intention, but I have become more patient nonetheless. If you want to practice patience, again, we come back to the same thing. If you don't want to practice patience, this chapter is not for you. Sorry, it's like it's as easy as it says. Yeah. And the Dharma itself, you know, the Dharma from books or whatever, has absolutely no intention of helping us. Yes.
I agree.
Okay.
It sounds, but I think that the argument is not 100% because when there is a positive intention, we do appreciate or validate or.
Yeah, of course. In our confusion.
Negative intention is a thing. It's not nothing.
This is in our.
Although the result is positive, but intention is a thing.
Yeah, this is our confused mind who puts a lot of importance on the intention of the other. Because that's what you say. Of course, naturally we feel better when we think the other person had the intention to help me. We, you know, just think about dentists and doctors. They hurt us. We have to pay money. But we see they have no intention to hurt us. They actually want to help us. But it's not important. If we put too much importance on intention, we keep suffering.
It's one component of the karma, intention.
Yours, not the other person's. Here we're talking about the intention of the other person, not about your intention. Intention in karma is very, you know, to create karmic imprints, of course, is very important, but only mine, not the other ones.
It's like we say sometimes about being grateful for the things that we have. All the tables and the houses and the water and the electricity that people make and we use. So sometimes people argue and say, but they didn't mean to help us by creating electricity. They want to earn their life. And still, we really appreciate their effort because we depend on them and we are using what they did.
Exactly. It's a very intelligent and it's a very intelligent way of feeling okay. Yeah, and it's a very intelligent way also of feeling not so hurt when we think it was their intention to hurt me. It's a very good way to protect ourselves. that when we are clever, when we're intelligent, it's not the intention that counts. As you say, you know, it feels as if it's the intention that counts because we make it count. But we can also, what Shantideva is trying to do with us, but it's not important. That's what he's telling us, but it's not important. You make it important, but it's not. Yeah, because as Leora says, you know, if you think about all the things you use during the day, how many people, living and dead, had to do their work properly so that you can use all the things that you are using. And just by thinking that, you know, it opens up the heart. And we feel we're not independent, we're not alone, we're totally connected. Yeah?
I totally agree, and I experience it. I know, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
There is a thing about the argument, because when we see someone with a positive intention to help us, we can cry because we're excited from the gesture. It's in the other way, it's very important, the thing of the intention.
No, we are just happy that we have good karma.
No, I mean, how can you, no, Netta, how can you know the intention of the other person? Have you never hurt somebody with unkind words because you were in a bad state and then you felt bad about this?
Of course.
Yeah. So you see, we imply, we think what the intention of the other is. How do we know? We don't know how confused they are. We don't know what they went through before they started hurting us or whatever. Yeah. So this is Shantideva's argument. He's arguing with his ego, saying, yeah, I know you make a big fuss out of intention, but actually it's not important. I can see you're not convinced.
Okay.
I don't want to convince you, but think about it. Yeah. Of course, if we feel that somebody has the intention to help us, what does it do? It feeds into our ego. I am special. He wants to help me. Then again,
also helping to others. When I see it,
it's not about this, Netta. It's not about this. This is about the intention of the other. It's not about your intention. Your intention is very important, but only yours. He's talking about the intention of the one who harms you.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about the intention of the Dharma or the rain. He's not talking about his intention. Your intention is extremely important because that is what determines what if the karmic imprint will be kind of positive or negative. Yeah. So don't go think like, oh, my intention is also not important. No, he's only talking to himself, not to worry about the intention of the other one.
But the example with the Dharma is not so clear for me.
Why?
True, because it's true that a book has no intention.
Yeah.
This book was written in order to help me.
Yeah,
So
but by a person.
Take it out from separate between the one who wrote the book and the book.
But by a person. So the person we venerate, but not the Dharma. Or the Dharma we venerate as well, isn't it? We respect.
We venerate the Dharma. So why take it as an example that we don't venerate? But it's
no. Sorry, it's my mistake.
Intention.
My mistake. He says the Dharma has no intention of helping us. The Dharma itself. The Dharma is not the person who speaks the Dharma. The Dharma is just the Dharma. The Dharma is an object. It's not a person. So he says we venerate the Dharma, but the Dharma has no intention of helping us. Still, it's helping us. That's what he's saying.
Okay. Because it's not a person, so it cannot have an intention.
It's not a person, so how can it have an intention?
Thank you.
And still we respect the Dharma. Yeah. Like the book, don't put it on the floor and all these kind of things.
If a cloud is coming in the sky, and I need some rain for my vegetables, so I'm glad of the cloud, and I think the cloud had good intention. But if I want to go out running, and the cloud is there, and I'm completely wet, so the cloud has intention to hurt me. So actually, there's no intention from the other side. I don't care what the intention is. That's what Shantideva is saying.
That's what he's saying. The cloud has zero intention to make you wet or to fall to fall on your ground.
And in a way, emptiness. Also, another man, another woman, another person. It's also like a cloud. It's
yeah. We shouldn't care so much about their intention. We should only care about our intention.
What do I do with it?
That's what he says. Okay. Oh, homework. What do you want to do? Watching your intention, or maybe seeing how we overreact by implying the other person's intention that we don't even know. How we put too much importance on how we say, oh, he wanted to hurt me, or he wants to hurt others, or you want to look at this a bit, and then thinking, oh, as Nachum says, just like a cloud who has no intention. Then the ego comes, but he has an intention. Yeah. To check this emphasis we give on intention that we don't even know. Somebody might be helping you, but they had absolutely no intention, and then we get all excited. Or what else do you want to do? Or no, you want to do nothing. It's also okay for me. Homework is for you to train so that you don't forget it. It's not a punishment, Or again, maybe just that. Maybe it has more to do with the verses. Somebody that you disrespect naturally, heart is closed. You don't want to have anything to do with the person. Again, don't take Netanyahu or these people. He's too big for you at the moment. So take somebody that you don't want to spend time with. You don't need to go and spend time with the person, but try to open up your heart and see them as being valuable in your Dharma practice of patience. Do you want to train that?
Yeah, I have something in mind. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, good. Okay, so I write that down because otherwise I also forget until next week. And then I'll check with Shachar and Leora about summer break, maybe at the end of June until August or something. Yeah. Okay, so we dedicate, as always, send out some metta. Again, so important that we look after ourselves. Okay, may I be safe. Try to just think the words and see what, don't manipulate anything, what it does to your heart. May I be safe. May I be protected from physical and mental harm and from my wrong views that I have about reality, which create the physical and mental harm outside. I'll be protected in not following my anger, my impatience, my ego-centeredness. That's my goal. This is the meaning of my practice and meaning of my life. To train, open up the heart, to be patient, to be loving, to be peaceful, to be helpful. That's what I want. May I be able to have that. May I be peaceful, loving, strong and healthy in body and mind. Free from fear. So it's good if it's directed towards ourselves. Then again, we open up, become bigger. But I'm not the only one. So many other confused people around us. It's like a mental asylum where we live, samsara. Everybody's crazy. Everybody has wrong views. Everybody's self-centered. So may all beings be protected from physical and mental harm and their own confused mind, who makes them act with body and speech. May all beings be able to recognize clearly what causes happiness, well-being, what causes suffering. May all beings be strong, healthy, free from fear, loving and peaceful. And may we all live in harmony and peace. And even though if my neighbor doesn't want to be peaceful, may I not add or contribute to his aggression. So we dedicate all the positive energy that we have created by discussing these things, especially patience, so that all beings recognize their true nature of basic spaciousness, basic goodness, basic intelligence, so that we can all have the happiness that lasts and that we all deserve because it's our nature. Okay, my dears, have a very good week, and thank you very much for listening, for participating.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anila. Thank you, Anila.
Thank you, Anila.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank
all
you,
the best for the new
everyone.
government. Also, please keep dedicating for your new government. Don't just from the beginning say, oh, this is hopeless. It's a bit strange. I do admit that these people got together as a government, but dedicate for them to be able, at least at the beginning, to work together. Then afterwards, we'll see. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Joyce.
Good
Take
night.
care.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Hi.
Bye.
I'm so happy to see you.
Bye,
Bye.
Gidon.
Hi, Giddy.
Hi, Gidi.
אהלן, פספסתי מלא.
מה נשמע?
כן, לא הצלחתי להיכנס, אבל נחמד להיות פה.
כן.
לרחף איתנו.
כן, כן, זה כזה...
מה שלומך?
בסדר, באמת, בסדר. כזה מין, לא יודע, בסך הכל בסדר.
זה די טוב, בסך הכל בסדר.
בסך הכל בסדר, כן.
רגע, אני צריכה לעצור את ההקלטה.
ריקורדינג, את מקליטנית.
כל הכבוד ליאור מלא, עשית זאת.
ראיתם מה זה? איך אני...
לגמרי.
כל המכשירים האלה והזומים והיוטיובים?
נבחרת בגלל כישורייך הטכנולוגיים?
כישוריי הטכנולוגיים שואפים לאפס, אבל הם משתפרים קצת לאט לאט.
לילה טוב.
לילה טוב לכולם, להתראות.
לילה טוב.